Hello everybody, welcome back for another video. Hope you're all doing well and that you're all having a great day. To start things off, Binance's native cryptocurrency will serve as the underlying asset to a new exchange traded product, or an ETP, the world's largest crypto exchange by trading volume set on Wednesday. It has partnered with fintech firm Amun to develop the USD denominated ETP, listed on the Switzerland principal stock exchange known as SIX, that is SIX, under the ticker ABNB. The financial product can be purchased through a bank or brokerage such as a stock. Amun CEO Hani Rashwan told CoinDesk the ETP will initially be backed by $20 million worth of Binance coins, representing nearly a quarter of the firm's total crypto assets under management since launching the first exchange crypto-backed ETP in November 2018. Rashwan said Amun's suite of 8 crypto ETPs are backed by $75 million in total assets. The regulated ETPs provides an avenue for investors to gain exposure to one of the top performing cryptocurrencies. According to Masari, BNB has $2.84 billion as a market cap, making it the 8th largest crypto by metric. In recent months, daily transaction volume usually tops $100 million. A couple of things. First of all, earlier in another video, we were discussing, or rather questioning, why for some reason Binance Coin had gone up in price. Now it makes a lot of sense. They've been listed on the largest stock exchange in all of Switzerland. Second part, we had information last year in 2018 that the Swiss SIX stock exchange would have listed their own, it was going to be their own cryptocurrency exchange. This news lasted for about a good 3, 4, 5 months. By the end of the time period when it was around time for them to actually do this, they announced, hey, no, we're not actually going to do that. We're planning on listing our own security token exchange. And everyone was like, sure. Well, the last 4 or 5 months, everyone seemingly thought that you were, nope, there we go. That everyone thought you were going to do what you said you were going to do. What's rather odd in my eyes is that the last 2 months, the Swiss SIX stock exchange, they've listed this ETP, this exchange traded product. I think there was another one that was listed, I think that was exclusively against Bitcoin. It was denominated in Bitcoin in some form or fashion. And then they listed another one that was, I believe, a number of top cryptocurrencies. The point being, they announced them getting into crypto in the blockchain space. People said, when are you going to do this? They said, no, we're not going to do this. But for some reason, a lot of things are being listed on their platform right now that are directly linked to cryptocurrencies. The more interesting part is that normally, I was going to say historically, just normally in general, we don't typically get news that an exchange-traded product, an exchange-traded note, an exchange-traded anything is denominated in anything other than Bitcoin, Ether, and or XRP. A lot of people do think, not financial advice, a lot of people do think that Binance, if it continues on this route, could actually be not the Apple of crypto, but like something as large as that. It doesn't appear that Binance is going to be disappearing anytime soon, and a lot of other people believe that they're going to last for a very long while and are going to continue to do well, even as prices were going down over the course of 2018 and the beginning of this year. Binance Coin continues to do well because of the marketing strategy that they have for their coin. So the point is, not many other things, especially if you think about it as well. Binance is about 1.5 years old, and they already have their cryptocurrency listed in an ETP on the Swiss stock exchange. This one says, this is from earlier this year, this article. It says, Swiss exchange to launch blockchain Börse. So it's like an exchange in the second half of the year. But this is, it's really weird because the way that things seem to be lining up is that they're planning on launching their own, I mean, it's just kind of a huge lump of stuff. They're apparently going to be launching their own security token offering, which pretty much means that they're going to be tokenizing their entire platform. Then they also feel the need to also have their own cryptocurrency, as they're going to have an STO and not an STO platform. It'll be fascinating. Thus far, they have not launched a cryptocurrency exchange. However, I feel like that it's going there. I feel like they may simply be weighing the option or seeing exactly how popular some of these products become. It's still fascinating that Binance is listed on the Swiss stock exchange. in some sort of fashion. Anyway, we'll see as time goes on. Here's the actual, is this the announcement? Yep, here's the actual announcement or listing for it. It says new listings 2019 Amon Binance BNB ETP first day trading 15th October 2019. Kind of crazy. Let's move on. Telegram Open Network, or TON. Developers responded to its investors after American regulators abruptly announced that its $1.7 billion token sale was illegal, according to a TON letter to investors obtained by Cointelegraph. The firm has been trying to solicit feedback from the US SEC for the past 18 months. I'll get back to why that's important in 1 second. Regarding the TON blockchain, and does not, obviously, agree with the recent action, it wrote, "We were surprised and disappointed that the SEC chose to file the lawsuit under these circumstances, and we disagree with the SEC's legal position in the letter. Telegram stated that they are continuing to assess the best ways to resolve the situation in the interest of relevant parties, including but not limited to evaluating whether to delay the launch date. After deeming Telegram's ICO illegal, the SEC filed a temporary restraining order, setting a court hearing in New York for the 24th of October. Following the news, New York Times tech reporter Nathaniel Popper tweeted to point out the involvement of high-profile investors Benchmark, Sequoia, and Lightspeed. He wrote, "The SEC's move to shut down Telegram's crypto project raises questions about the big venture capital firms that gave $1.7 billion and convinced themselves that it would pass regulatory muster that included Benchmark, Sequoia, and Lightspeed." Working backwards, first of all, I feel like this is a weird quip at something. Maybe there's like a bit of tension between someone and them and this person, because it's a little weird how he wrote that. The point being, I mentioned this in the other video, plain and simple. If we had information for the past year and some change that this was going to be launching, the SEC took over 18 months, and this is why I'm glad that they also said, we've been trying to contact the SEC for the past 18 months, and I assume the SEC completely brushed them to the side, waiting for the very last moment for them to be able to give them a restraining order. How nice of them. The entire point being is that the people from the Telegram Open Network had announced that their cryptocurrency was going to be distributed to investors on Halloween of this year. That's 16 days away. For some reason, about 4 days ago, the SEC said, nope, restraining order, you can't do it. Part of the issue is that the people from Telegram had announced before, once again, everyone had this information, that at the beginning of this year that they were going to be launching, or rather distributing the token by Halloween, because it says in the clause that if they do not do so, that they have to, I believe, pay back their investors their money that they were given. And this is why it says we're trying to figure out how to do this in the best possible way under these circumstances, because 1.7 billion is an enormous amount of money. I think it has nothing to do with any backers, Benchmark, Sequoia, Lightspeed. I don't care who they are or what they might be into. I don't think that in any capacity that they thought that this was going to be happening, simply because they probably had information. Hey, we've been trying to contact the SEC for the past 3 months. We'll definitely hear from them in the next 15 months. Something is afoot in the cryptocurrency space. Not exactly sure what. However, it's more of a, how do you say? For those of you who are involved in Telegram or with the TON token, wondering what was going on, this is the closest update that we have thus far at the moment. I have a strange inkling the SEC will bar them from releasing their coin unless something magical ends up happening, and that's going to cause even more of a situation with their investors. Tying loosely into this as well, Canadian social media and messaging app Kik has revealed it's here to stay, and an apparent reversal of earlier plans to shut down amid legal difficulties. In an official post on the 13th, the company announced, great news, Kik is here to stay, and there's some really exciting plans for making the app even better. More details coming soon. Stay tuned. End quote. As previously reported, Kik has been embroiled in a costly legal battle with the US SEC, the same exact people who tried to shut down or are in process of shutting down Telegram over its initial coin offerings designation, with the regulator suing the company for having conducted an allegedly unregistered $100 million token offering. having pared down his workforce from 151 people to just 19 people, and mulling a complete shutdown of the company, according to a blog post from CEO Ted Livingston last month. The company closed the KickX beta platform on the 27th of September. Yet the first hint of a turnaround in fortune emerged on the 7th when Livingston tweeted, and I do quoteth, "Some exciting news. We may have found a home for Kick. We just signed it should be a letter of intent with a great company. They want to buy the app, continue growing it for our millions of users, and take the Kin integration to the next level. Not a done deal yet, but could be a great win-win more soon." Apparently, this happened. I guess maybe they were purchased, maybe someone else acquired them, whatever the case might be. Apparently, Kick the app is going to still be around. Kin the coin was still mentioned, and I wonder, I would not be shocked if this was simply handed over to, or a foreign entity ended up purchasing it, who was outside of the jurisdiction of the US SEC. It seems that every single time, and it's really sad, it seems that the only way to really get your coin going, is to simply just not allow it within the US. There were a number of other ICOs last year who were also announcing, they were like, yeah, our coin's available for everyone on this planet except for the US. So don't be shocked if Kin stays around, but definitely launching on some other app or website or something. It's very, not that it's even sad. It's more, I believe there's a lot of, this is my opinion, I believe there's a lot of corruption floating around in the cryptocurrency space, because a lot of this news that we had was floating around too closely together. Here's the actual tweet right here. Great news, Kick is here to stay, and there's some better plans making an app. More details coming soon. Stay ahead. Explosion. It's a little party favor thing. Anyway, yeah, we'll see how this ends up developing. And without further ado, let's move on. The world's biggest economies are assessing stablecoins as a potential risk to the global financial system, according to a statement from the Financial Stability Board. In a letter to G20 finance members and central bank governors on Sunday, the FSB chair, Randall Quarters, said the G7 working group is delivering an assessment report on opportunities and challenges posed by global stablecoins. While the G20 leaders previously admitted crypto assets do not pose a risk or threat to global financial stability, the introduction of global stablecoins could pose a host of challenges to the regulatory community. The chair said in the letter, the regulator presents a range of issues stemming from stablecoins, including data privacy and protection, AML, CFT, know your customer compliance, tax evasion, fair competition, and market integrity. My gosh, I want to dissect all of this. This would take me hours of rambling to even let you know how much I think that all of that is a load of bull hockey. You know exactly what I'm talking about. Every single thing mentioned there, in my opinion, is such a lie. These people don't care about anything except for their own interests. It's so blatantly obvious at this point. While the letter does not point to any particular stablecoin as an example, major economies have been voicing their concerns over the anticipated issuance of Libra. According to a report from the BBC on Monday, the draft report on stablecoins from the G7 working group warns that even if Libra backers can address such concerns, the project may not get approval from regulators. There was also, oh gosh, who else said this? Some other country came forward and they were like, yeah, we don't like them because they're evil and so and so and so. Like, I'm finding, I want to say the fireworks. I'm finding this situation to be quite laughable, if you will. I don't care about stablecoins. I honestly don't. I care about hyper decentralized projects. The entire point being is that, where was it? Right here. Earlier this year, late last year, the middle of last year, and the beginning of last year, we had information from just about every single major country on this planet that cryptocurrencies in no way, shape, or form or capacity were a threat to anything. Government, monetarily, so and so and so, they posed no absolute risk at all. That's why I kept on finding it really interesting every single time that the cryptocurrency prices would go up. And even one time when we had there was an article that said, I think that Bitcoin wouldn't be a threat. Not even the $250,000 thing. It was like Bitcoin won't be a threat for years to come and governments have nothing to worry about. All it took was for Facebook to announce Libra and everyone kind of lost their minds. And this is why I still think that we're seeing this mass movement towards people in power issuing their own stable coins and government central bank digital coins, and this also so and so happening. I always wonder, and I don't know if it's a mixture of because of the TV shows I watch, the movies I watch, the articles I read. I'm fascinated with the future. I'm fascinated with the prospect of technology and the future development of society. All these little things that comprise the future, whatever you might think it may look like. Even just more so in the next 3 to 4 to 5 years. It's fairly obvious. What I think also happens somewhere behind the scenes is that Facebook probably announced Libra. Someone else probably came forward or thought about announcing, because the people from Libra also said, this is the fascinating part, that they actually went to government leaders and were like, hey, we're planning on doing this. And apparently no one really had an issue until they announced it. And that's when things kind of went insane. I assume that some other major company probably went forward as well. And they were like, hey, we want to do the same. And I feel like they've probably logically been shut down, but they won't be the last to do something like this. And I wonder exactly what the world's monetary policies are going to look like, especially once we actually do. It happens always. Once we do have a recession, what will happen to cryptocurrencies and how will stable coins affect the rest of the space? Because even a lot of other platforms right now, even if you go so far as someone, I don't know who you are, maybe you didn't mean it in a mean way. Someone was laughing when I said that Kik and Telegram were a threat to the monetary supply. I feel like you heard what you wanted to hear just so you could kind of get a laugh. The point was that a lot of platforms that we have right now, whether it be WhatsApp, Instagram, blah, 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 Telegram, so all these names, everything that we use on our phones, they're trying to figure out ways, you better believe it, to create their own cryptocurrencies and to keep people onto their platforms. The point of apps and things like that, you may have noticed when you look at quarterly reports from these companies, there's always a part that talks about how long people stay on the app. The longer that people stay on the app, the more that the more, what's the word? Not attention that they give to it. It does something to the revenue of a company. Imagine being able to keep people on your app all day. The same exact thing with WeChat and Alipay. Everything people do on these apps, they're always on the app. Every single thing. Imagine being able to create a currency that people use exclusively on that app. Imagine using WhatsApp. Imagine using so-and-so. Imagine me messaging you and you messaging me and us talking the entire day back and forth on this platform, playing games, doing everything. And everything revolves around the Kin coin. How much money that then makes for the company. Imagine if I'm trying to send you money and instead of me going, I don't like PayPal's fees, can I just send you Kin instead? Yeah, sure. Yeah, me and all my friends have Kin. It creates its own separate economy from the ones that we have right now. And while it may in some way be pegged, or not even usually pegged to an actual dollar, like a lot of these coins aren't meant to be stable coins as well, it creates a situation where these little bubbles start forming around the world that governments don't have control over. So I wasn't saying that Kin or Telegram were going to be like, oh my gosh, they're going to take over the US dollar. It's more like when or if these companies did well, and by the end of the year, they made, let's say 3, 4, 5 billion in profits just from all the movement of the coins and the coins going up and something like that. You then have 15 other companies who go, I want to make that kind of money. And it just creates this huge pattern of everyone and everything being its own coin. And at that point, then governments have no more power or have less power. And this is why Libra scares them so much, because it's opened up the door to a world where we don't have to rely on that one currency to transact value. We can simply go, well, I'll just use that one instead. It's a lot more convenient. All my friends are on that platform. I know that the fees are 1 cent as opposed to like $4.50. Anyway, it's fascinating how all of this is. I would love to be in a room with people having this discussion, like actual like world leaders, just to hear what they have to say, because I'm pretty sure it's stuff that I can't even begin to even think about that they're also discussing. Anyway. Yeah, here's the actual letter right here from the Financial Stability Board to the G20 finance ministers and central bank governors. It goes on for a couple of pages. Next up, foreign exchange trading platform FXCM Group has launched a basket of 5 cryptocurrencies aimed at retail investors. Those are everyday normal people. Dubbed Crypto Major, the basket product includes Bitcoin, XRP, LTC, Bcash, and Ether, which are equally weighted to protect against market volatility. The firm said in an announcement on Monday, the 5 cryptos are already traded on its platform. Speaking on the launch, CEO Brendan Callan said the product simplifies crypto investment for retail users. He said, trading a basket of cryptocurrencies means our users are freed from the hassle of constantly monitoring the markets. Crypto Major therefore streamlines the trading process and protects our customers from unanticipated and adverse market movements, end quote. The product is targeted at customers seeking to enter the nascent crypto market, Callan said, but who don't want to risk too much overexposure. I'll translate that for you for those of you who think that sounded weird. It's pretty much, we'll do the stuff for you so that we can get additional fees, and therefore you'll still be in the cryptocurrency market, but you won't really be in the crypto market. Not to say that what they're doing is bad, but a lot of companies like to announce that they're doing this for you, for your well-being. We want to make sure you don't have to pay attention to the market. Just leave everything to us. That's kind of the way that they're going at it. The major overall point is the last couple of weeks, patterns. Once again, patterns. While this may sound relatively similar or like I've echoed myself once again, it's simply because this is another company who's come forward, FXCM Group, who has announced that they're creating some type of a basket of something against cryptocurrencies. There are a lot of companies, even ones that we may not hear about as often or ever, who are starting to release products into the wild, whether they be for institutional and or retail investors, as a way for them to get into the cryptocurrency space. I would personally suggest, if you want to get into crypto, to hold and own crypto yourself. However, these are interesting because the discussion that we were having before is that I believed that there would be multiple companies around the world who would start accumulating as much cryptocurrencies as possible to be able to offer these products. Because what happens is that the money that you make, or the money that your whatever makes from the product that they're offering, is based on the amount of cryptocurrencies that they hold. The more people who hold it, the more money that they make from fees. The more money that they make from fees, those fees then go into buying more cryptocurrencies. The higher the prices of cryptocurrencies goes, is this really huge cycle. But it also leads us into another situation where if it continues to do well, crypto prices go up and they start making money, more other customers or start putting their money into it, and then other businesses go, well, that company down the road made $50 million last year just off of fees from the thing that they were offering. Let's start to get into this as well. How do we get into it? You have to buy cryptocurrencies. Cryptocurrencies, finite. You see where this is all going? It's very, very interesting. And once again, the same exact thing that we were talking about. Was it earlier in this video? Or was it earlier in the other video? I don't remember. Anyway, the point being, I'm seeing that same loop again. The same coins that are always offered: Bitcoin, XRP, LTC, Bcash, and Ether. It's always the same coins. That's why I think the Binance coin being listed on the stock exchange was a bit of a